Hello all. In this lecture we will see about SEI CMM model. So SEI CMM model, it is another model which helps organizations to improve the quality of the software they develop. So it was proposed by Software Engineering Institute of the Carnegie University, USA. So it was actually used by United States Department of Defense. So they were the largest buyer of software in 1970s. So they want to assess the contractor from where they want buys the software. They want to assess those people, the organizations. So for that they use this model to assess the contractors. So later organizations started using this model, and now it has become a standard for all the organizations. So here it is a model for appraising the software process maturity into different models. So what we do is we appraise the software process maturity into different levels. We have 5 levels of software process maturity. So based on that we can classify organizations into 5 categories. So we call it as SEI CMM level 1, level 2, level 3, like that. So if you take big organizations, they will be SEI CMM level 5 company. So SEI CMM can be used in two ways. So first one is capability evaluation, and second is software process assessment. So we'll see each one separately. First one is capability evaluation. So capability evaluation provides a way to assess the software process capability of an organization. So we can assess the software process capability of that organization. Okay, software process assessment. Then, no, sorry, software process capability of an organization. So the results of this capability evaluation indicates the indicates how the contractor performance, if the contractor is given the work. So it is like we can assess the quality and we can say whether this contract can be given to that company or not. So results would indicate the likely the contractor performance if the contractor is awarded a work process capability of an organization. So on the other hand, the software process assessment. eh, So this is actually to improve the organization's own process capability. So if the process capability of the organization wants to be improved, we have to use the software process assessment. So there are two evaluation. One is capability evaluation, software process assessment. So this evaluation, capability evaluation, will be evaluated by external people. So if I want to purchase some software from some organization, so I will check whether they are capable of delivering this. So based on this capability evaluation, I can assess an organization. So this software process assessment is to improve its own process capability. So assessment is for purely internal use by the company. The company uses only for its internal purposes. So that's the difference between these two assessments. So we will see different levels. So as I mentioned, there are 5 levels, 5 levels CSCI CMF level. So based on the capability of that company, all organization will fall into any of these categories. Okay. So SEI level 1 or SEI CMM level 1 company, level 1 organization means the organization at this level is characterized by ad hoc activities. They don't have any process. Very few or no processes are defined and followed. So for software development, they might not have any process and all. So they simply try to develop some software. So they might not have defined a process at all. And different engineers in the organization will follow their own process. They will follow their own process, and what happens is the result that becomes a chaotic thing. So the development efforts become chaotic. So it is also known as a chaotic level. So the success of the software development depends on individual efforts. So it depends. The success of a software project depends on the individual efforts, because it is based on the individual capability. The success happens. So if the individuals are not capable, then automatically everything will fail because they are not following any process. So all the individuals will work. So this is the lowest level organization. So uh, initial stage companies will be at level SCI CMM level 1 company. So they should try to upgrade to next level. So the problem here is when manpower turnover occurs, it will be a big problem in this case, in the case of this level 1 companies, because people the new the successors or the newcomers of people will find it difficult to understand, because there is no particular process, and they won't know what are the works that are completed by their predecessors. So that is a problem with this thing. So when manpower turnover occurs, this level organization will fail. So also the developers, the engineers, due to time pressure, due to time constraint and all, they try to do shortcuts, and they will try to develop some low quality software. So they somehow manage to get the result by uh, by some shortcut methods. So what happens is the software will be of low quality. So this is level 1 CMM. So this is initial stage. So if you want to go to level 2, if you at the starting stage, some organization will be at level 1 company. So if you want to go to the next level, they should have these things. Level 2 CMM, it is known as a repeatable. CMM level 2 is known as repeatable company. So at this level, the basic project management practices will be there, such as tracking the cost, schedule, then size. All these things will be estimated. Size and cost estimation techniques like a function point analysis, COCOMO, all these things will be used. So the success depends on the previous projects. So if the company has performed some previous similar projects and they are trying to develop some similar projects again, they will automatically succeed, because they know how what is the cost and the schedule, everything they know, so of developing the previous project. So success depends on the already done projects. So process discipline is there in place to repeat earlier success on projects. So there is some process, but it is purely based on the previous projects that they have developed. So they have made a process for development of the software, but it is based on the historical experience. They have already developed similar products, so they know what to do and all. So that is known as level 2 repeatable company organization, SEI CMM level 2. So if the firm want to go to next level, we call it as SEI CMM level 3 company. We call it as defined. So level 3, it is known as defined. So uh, at this level, the processes for both management and development activities are defined and documented. Okay, so we will be defining processes for both management. So there will be a process for both management and development activities. So there will be a common organization-wide understanding of activities, roles, and responsibilities. In the previous case, there won't be any common organization-wide activity and all. So here, when it is a level 3 company, level 3 organization, the organization will have common set of activities, common roles, responsibilities, everything will be defined. So process and product qualities are not measured here, but here the process and product qualities are not measured. So we will have some process and products, but those qualities are not measured here. We won't take any measurements of how we process, how the product development process works, or how reliable the system is. All these things are not measured in this case. So ISO 9000 aims at achieving this level. So if you are an organization with ISO 9000 certification, that means you are level 3 company only. So if you want to achieve further, then you have to go to the next level, that is level 4. We call it as managed. So at this level, the focus is on software metrics. Software metrics. There will be software metrics. So in the previous level, the process, and if you see this, we have already mentioned that process and product qualities are not measured. Here, there's no measurement. No, we are not taking any measurements on process and product qualities. But in this level, we will be taking the software metrics. That is, we will be measuring the software process and product quality. So there are two types of metrics that I use. One is product metrics. So we have already seen product metrics means size, reliability, time complexity, understandability. All these are known as product metrics. Then we have process metrics also. Process metrics may be effectiveness of the process being used, average defect correction time, the productivity, then average number of defects found per hour, then average number of failures, like that. All those form the process metrics. So we'll be measuring both product metrics and process metrics. Then quantitative quality goals are set for the products. So we will set some goals, quantitative quality goals. So we will set the process metric for this. For example, the complexity, the time complexity should be like this. The reliability, we have seen different measures. MTTF should be like this. MTBR should be like this. So we will be setting those quantitative quality goals. So we'll also use some tools like Pareto charts, fishbone diagrams to measure the product and process quality. So process measurements are used to evaluate the project performance rather than improve the process. So in this level, we will be taking measurements, but those measurements are not used to improve the quality. We will just keep the measurements. So we will just assess all the quality measures like product metrics and process metrics. We try to find out all the metrics, but it is just to evaluate our project performance, how far we have succeeded. We won't take those measurements to improve the process. We won't take these measurements to improve the process. So if we take those measurements and if we try to improve the process, then we will become level 5 optimizing organization. So this is the highest level, CMM level 5. So at this point, what we do is we collect process and product metrics like in level 5, and additionally this data, this process and product metrics data, are analyzed for continuous process improvement. Here process improvement is also done. So in the previous level 4, we won't improve the process. We take those measurements. But in this case level 5, we use those measurements to improve the process also. So if we, for example, how to improve the process. For example, if we have done some code review in some software, and if we found some kind of errors during testing stage, during testing, if we detect many errors, we find that there is some problem with code review. So code review was not good. That's why during testing stage there were many different errors were detected. So what we try to do is when we develop the next software, we will try to improve the code review technique or try to improve the quality of code review. Then testing can be reduced. So that's how we reach this level 5 optimization. So that's an example. So lessons learned from specific projects are incorporated into the process. So we learn lessons from the previous projects and we try to use those lessons to improve the quality of the next software that will be developed. So continuous process improvement is achieved in this case. So what we do is we take quantitative feedback from the process measurements, and also we try to apply innovative ideas and technologies, and thus we can have continuous process improvement. So here organization identifies the best software engineering practices and innovations, which may be tools, methods, or pre-processes. So the organization will get the best engineering practices. They will be using different case tools. All these things will be used so that there will be constant improvement in the software that they develop. Okay. So then if if an organization is doing all these things, then that organization is SEI CMM level 5 company. So if you take big companies, they'll be called SEI CMM level 5 certified company. Like that you will see. So these best practices are transferred throughout the organization. So all the best practices will be available and will be known to all the persons working all throughout the globe. So this is a summary of this thing. So in the initial thing, focus will be on competent people. So it depends on the capability of those competent people. There is no key process area that is defined. This is actually key process area. Then in this level 2, it is repeatable. So there will be some project management thing. So software project planning will be there, software configuration management will be there. The level 3 defined, so definition of processes will be there, process definition. There will be a training program to improve the quality of the developers. Then there will be peer reviews, everything will be there. Then in the level 4 managed, there will be product and process quality metrics will be there. So quantitative process metrics will be there, but they won't be used to improve, and software quality management techniques will be used. Then in the optimization, there will be continuous process improvement will be there. So defect prevention, process change management, technology change management, innovations, everything will come when you become this level 5 company. So that's all about CMM level. There are some shortcomings for this CMM level, shortcomings for CMM also. Mm, so first one is how to improve it is not defined in CMM. So what is needed to be improved? So only thing we will get is CMM. If you are a level 3 company, if you want to become level 5, what is to be done? That is there. But how to improve it, it is not defined. So we organization won't be able to know how to improve it. What is to be done is known. So how to do it is not defined in this CMM level 5. Then as in ISO, here in CMM also we require heavy documentation. So we always, software organizations try to reduce documentation burden. So but in the case of CMM level 5, the documentation is also heavy here. And also CMM level accurate measurement is difficult thing. So it is difficult to assess the capability maturity of a particular organization based on all these factors and all. So it is also difficult to assess accurately measure a capability level. So we'll compare this ISO 9000 certification and SEI CMM. So ISO 9000 is actually awarded by an international standards body. So it can be quoted in all official documents where they communicate or they in tender quotations and all. They can mention that they are an ISO 9000 certified company. But SEI CMM, it is actually for internal purpose only. Then SEI CMM was developed specifically for software industry, so that is another advantage. So this is intended for only for software industry, whereas ISO can be used by any company, any organization can use. Even if you have a small fish shop, fish stall, you can use that ISO certification. You can go for ISO certification. But SEI CMM is purely for software organizations. And SEI CMM goes beyond quality assurance and here prepares an organization to ultimately achieve this total quality management. So here SEI CMM tries to achieve the TQM, whereas ISO 9001 aims at level 3 of CMM. So whatever you do, if you are following ISO, you can reach only up to level 3. But in this case, SEI CMM, if you reach level 5, that means TQM is achieved. Total quality management is there in your organization. And also SEI CMM provides a list of key process areas. We have already seen in the previous table. There are some key process areas on which maturity level should be achieved. So if you want level 3, you have some key process areas that you should focus and you should improve the quality based on those and you should focus on those areas, and thereby you can increase the quality of your software product that is being developed. So it is, if you take SEI CMM, how to apply this to in small organization, usually you can't go for this SEI CMM in small organization. This suits large organization which develops large software, safety critical software and all. You can use this model. But small, if you go for, if small organizations try to use this kind of SEI CMM model, it will be difficult to achieve all these maturity levels and all. So it is, if it is for large organizations, they can go for the CMM model. Then we have other standards also, but for like personal software process, then there are Six Sigma principles and all. But you need to learn only this ISO and SCI here. So that's all. Thank you.